I'm Katrina, and this is Sow and Tare, and I'm mostly doing this video because I know I'm not going to have time to edit one tomorrow. That's okay. I need to do something, and I'm going to take you along for the ride. I need to pick out a recipe. All these recipe books are fabulous. I have not used all of them yet. I tend to collect recipe books whenever I see one that's like, ooh, that one is good. Or I look through and I'm like, ooh, I want to make that recipe. A lot of these are thrifted or estate sales or, you know, stuff like that. So, yeah. So there's a couple that, so I know I want to make a cake. My birthday is Tuesday, so April 1st, I'm a fool's baby. And we have a membership on this channel. If you didn't know that, now you know that. It's called Katrina's Kits, and it was named by one of my subscribers. And the Katrina's Kits make something together every month. We do a Cook With Me Live event, and you in your kitchen, me in my kitchen, I'm on my computer, you could be on your computer or your phone, and it's a whole lot of fun. But we are doing this month's on not October, it is April, not October, April 26th. So we are waiting till after tax day, when people are much more relaxed and actually have a shared birthday with someone's relative. And so we're gonna just do it on the 26th. That's a Saturday. So we usually do a Saturday or a Sunday. It kind of flip-flops. I kind of put feelers out, ask when people are available, and go from there. So that is what we generally do. So we are going to be making beef stroganoff and for dinner, and we are also going to be making a cake. Now, there's two books here that I know I want to look through. This one is hilarious. This one's hilarious. I love how she writes. She has a story for every recipe, and it's super, super awesome. And look how old this is. I don't even think you can get this anymore. I got this, I think I got this at a thrift store or estate sale. I don't know. Yeah, 1974 was the original one, and looks like, oh no, that was other books. 1982. So a year before I was born, this book came out. The other one that I'm going to look in is this one, also not new. And this one I haven't used very much, but I've been surprised by some of the recipes in it. Now, if you watch my channel, I'm not much of a recipe person. I tend to use what I have and make something. Baking is a little different because baking is chemistry. So when you have things that work chemically together, then that's when it's more important to actually have a recipe. But sometimes I do recipes. I have to figure out a recipe, either make it up on my own, have it from memory or from, you know, ask my mom what we made, or get it from a cookbook or online for the Cook With Me Live event, which encourages me to actually cook the full thing and sometimes try new stuff. We've been doing familiar stuff for the past couple ones, but doing new recipes is always good. So these are the books I'm going to look in. I do have other books that have cakes. From here over, I said in my other video I put up my bookshelf that these were chocolate. No, these were desserts from the chocolate cookbook to Hershey's chocolate and cocoa cookbook. This is a really good cookie cookbook. This is a really good peanut butter cookie recipe too. Again, it's the ones that are falling apart that are the best. So if you're at a thrift store and you're like, man, that book looks terrible, those are the ones to grab, because those are the ones that were well loved. All right, so I'm going to take through and look at a couple of these, and I'm not going to show you the actual recipe, but I might read a little bit of some things in here. And I hope to see you on the 26th of April, 2025. At 11 a.m. Pacific time. So we do Pacific time. 11 a.m. is good because it gets East Coast, West Coast gives me enough time to put something together if I need to in the morning, attend to things, run to the store if I need to, and it's really great. So I'm gonna go through these and I'm gonna decide what we're gonna make. I kind of had a couple ideas between a couple cakes. I know I want a chocolate-based cake, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm gonna start with this one and go through this. Now, she has a few dessert books. This is the only one I have, but all of these are desserts. It's New Book of Great Desserts. And she has a fabulous writing style. She tells stories about where these came from and all of that. Now, most cookbooks have either an index, like a rough index in the front, or a full index in the back. Sometimes they're just in the back. Yeah, so like this one has, in here, it says cakes, pies and tarts, yeast cakes, sweetbreads, gingerbreads and muffins, cookies and crackers, custards, mousses, souffles, etc. Fruit desserts, ice cream, and other frozen desserts. And then the index is at the end. So that's how most cookbooks have their contents, their table contents or whatever. So cakes are on page 25, and I am just going to go through that. Well, okay, the next thing is on page 129, so 25 to 129. Let's see. That's a cake, fancy cakes, oatmeal cake. Oh, I have a delicious warm note for oatmeal cake. I do write in my recipe books. So that's a tip for you if you have physical recipe books, is to write in them. Ooh, I have something marked. What do I have marked? Okay. Okay. The best lemon cake. I don't think I ever made that one, but I did have it marked. All right, orange chiffon. I'm just looking for the end of this. Jelly roll, okay. So this book has that many cakes in it, okay? So we could go through and just flip through the whole thing. I'm actually going to go to the back and go into the index. Okay, so I have here, I'm at cakes, and I'm specifically looking for some sort of chocolate cake and go from there. Now, this one actually has chocolate in here. It says chocolate 25, 27 through 38. So I don't know what's on page 26, probably frosting. But let's look at those, because that is a lot. But there was one I was looking at. Okay, this is the cake I was looking at. I was looking at the Robert Redford cake. So that's one of the options. So let's just go straight to that one. Okay, the Robert Redford cake. And basically she has this fabulous story. So she has the story here. It continues on with the ingredients there, and then more story over there, and the icing. Yes, I covered it up. You guys gotta come to the live. Come to the Cook With Me live. Join the channel so you can make it too. But it's very, very detailed, and I'll read part of this. I'll read bits of this. And again, here's the book, just so you guys know which one it is. It's 1982. Chocolate News, a food publication. Isn't that a wonderful name for a food publication? Chocolate News. I wonder if it still exists. Recently printed a photo of Robert Redford along with a recipe for a chocolate honey cake, which they said he had enjoyed at the Hisse restaurant in New York City. I broke the 4-minute mile getting to the kitchen to try this recipe, and it was delicious cake. Anyway, so she tried to make up what was there, and then she actually went to the restaurant and found out it was different than what she had created, and they gave her the recipe. She somehow gets recipes from people like ridiculous recipes she gets from people. I mean, the restaurant gave her the recipe, and I think I don't remember if she changed it or not. And then she thanks Robert Redford. She says, "If it wasn't for Redford's picture, I probably would not have noticed the recipe to begin with. So thank you, Robert Redford. You are a gentleman and a scholar and a man of good taste indeed." Now, this is written in 1982. I don't know when that interaction occurred, but I just find it kind of fun. Just a fun story. So the one thing I'm looking for like the Cook With Me Live for Katrina's kits is I'm looking at the ingredients and making sure that people probably can get these things, because some of these recipe books have ingredients that are like, where can someone get that? Now, I live in, well, I would call it a food desert, because there's 3 restaurants in town. They're good, but like, we have a Dollar General, and then we have a grocery store that they have good, they have groceries, but like, you can't get a whole chicken. You have to get, chicken breasts or drumsticks if they have them. You can't get super, super, super good produce. The rare things are rare, although they did carry goat milk, so I have some dried goat milk for in case I need to with baby bunnies, because that is the closest milk. It's goat. Fun story. So I'm looking here and I'm looking at the ingredients, and I see one ingredient. Well, okay, there's a lot of eggs in this. I think the people that are members are going to be okay with a lot of eggs. A lot of them have birds. I will probably have to buy eggs unless my girls get laying. Rexy's still molting. I don't know what's up with the other 2, but yeah. So it has a bunch of eggs in it. And blanched hazelnuts or blanched almonds. Now, all that means is basically the skin is off. That's what it means. I read through it, and I think that's what it means. So, blanched stuff already, I mean, you could get slivered almonds, and I think that's what I would do, is get slivered almonds that already don't have the skin on it. So I'm saying, okay, that's definitely in the running. So that's one. And then it has the icing, which has good ingredients. So that's one, is the Robert Redford cake. And I might end up going with that one. And then in this other book, I was looking at another one in this book too, but I think that one might be the one we go with. But in this other book, I don't remember if this was marking something or not. No, that's just the spine of the book. I should probably take it to the library and see if the library in town has any book tape. Think they would here? Town of 800 people. Library have book tape. I don't know. Now this is also an old one. Here's a picture of the lady. And yeah, it's an actual, like, it's put in the book. It's not print. It's separate, put on there. Okay, it is. Oh, so she was Miss Belle DeGraff. She was editor for the San Francisco Chronicle's cooking information page. She was director of domestic science California Prune and Apricot Growers Association, and an instructor for U.S. Naval Reserves, New York City, for many years in charge of the domestic science department of the Sperry Flour Company. Interesting. So that's what I like about some of these older books, is that these are made by people who actually like go through and have experience and have gained knowledge and steal recipes or whatever. But they're very entrenched in what they do. It seems like a lot of recipe books these days is people saying, oh, I want to get a recipe book out, go. Or I want to get, oh, I'll write down these simple recipes. Okay, go. And it seems like people are not making, this is a general statement. People are not being as like excited about the product, but excited about the recipe. There are a lot more recipe books with pictures, which I totally support. I think all of them should have that. But it seems like there's a different energy coming from these older books, where people were, enthralled with what they do. And published. Okay, where's the date of publishing? Does it not have the date of publishing? It says who published it. It might not have the date of publishing. It just says published by H.S. Crocker Company, Incorporated, San Francisco, California. It does not have a date on here. How funny. I wonder if it's on the back for some reason. So the dates are, the first page, second page, whatever, usually. There's ads. They used to have ads in the back of cookbooks too. So that's, it tells you the age of it, but it's not actually giving me a date. Interesting. Okay. So I'm going to look under cakes in the index. I just flipped to a page and I thought it said invalid cookery. Then I read the first line. Food for the sick and convalescents should be carefully prepared and daintily served. It's not invalid cookery, it's invalid. Anyway, we're not doing that. We're looking for cake. We're healthy enough to eat cake. Oh, cake fillings. Cake. All right, angel apple, Boston cream, just chocolate. We're gonna look at that one. Coffee, cream puffs, crumb, devil's food, eclairs, foundation recipe. I want to know what that is. Golden jelly roll, king, ladyfinger, 1 egg chocolate. I think that must be like no, that's flourless chocolate. Pound, prune, quick, spice, sponge, walnut white. Okay. I'm going to briefly look at chocolate, 238, 238. Oh, it's a chocolate sponge cake. Was it under sponge? It was not. I don't really want to do a sponge cake. Okay, we're gonna try Devil's Food, 231. We're going backwards. Okay, I have a note on here that says good with exclamation point and underlined greased for greased pans. That means it sticks. And corrected to say it makes 2 layers, not 4 layers. So these are the kind of notes that you can put in your recipe. Like if you add something or subtract something or substitute something, or if you just want to say, oh, this really needs to be baked at 325, not 350, or have some notes. Just write them in your cookbook. It's your cookbook. Yeah. And then 1 egg chocolate cake is right below that. So. Oh, okay, foundation. So the way some especially older books do this, where they have a foundation, which is literally what it is. It's the base. It's a base cake. It's a base recipe. I see that a lot with muffins, and then you add different things to make different flavors of muffins. But this has a foundation cake recipe, which is shortening, sugar, flour, baking powder, eggs, milk or water, and vanilla and lemon extract. And then they have a bunch of varieties that you can make, of that. And so walnut loaf, white cake, golden cake, devil's food cake, 1 egg chocolate cake. That's a good one. So I've already made this one, devil's food cake. And then 1 egg chocolate cake. Has 1 egg, has pretty much the general thing here. I think I'm gonna go with Robert Redford cake. This is good. It doesn't have the stories like the other one. It's more kind of to the point. I mean, it does have like, okay, I just opened to savory sauces, and it has like a thorough explanation. But she also has thorough explanations. There is an explanation on whipping eggs in here that is absolutely fantastic, and maybe understand why certain things work and certain things don't. And it's so detailed but fun to read. So I'm gonna go with the Robert Redford cake, and yeah. So get some blanched almonds or hazelnuts. That's the rare ingredient, and some eggs. I'll tell you the ingredients. It's blanched hazelnuts or almonds, a semi-sweet chocolate, butter, honey, eggs, and salt. But if you want to know how to put it together, you gotta come join us. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the video and that you come and have a fun time with us. We do it 11 a.m. Pacific time. Every month. This one's going to be the 26th of April 2025. That is a Saturday. And sometimes we do 2 days if it's a 2-day recipe. Sometimes we do our taste testing on that Monday live. You might have seen that. And it's a whole lot of fun. It's very affordable. I wanted it to be pretty affordable so people would, join it. And you don't have to know anything about cooking or baking. I will send out a post every, the week before of your ingredients and what you need. So like, do you need a baking pan or a rolling pin or whatever? And then we make it all together. And sometimes things go wrong, and most of the time things goes right. Sometimes someone else on the live will, and we get to see each other. You don't have to if you don't want to, though. Sometimes someone else will make something slightly different, or hey, I have these ingredients, so I'm using these instead. So if you're a beginner for cooking or baking, highly recommend joining us, because you can ask questions as well. And while we're doing the process, you're like, oh, mine's not doing that. Why isn't it doing that? Or oh, I forgot an ingredient. Can I substitute something? Applesauce you can substitute for a couple things, but there's a learning factor, but it's mostly just cooking together and having fun and then eating. So anyway, I hope you join us. The link to join is in the description, and there also should be a button on the down below the video. There should be a join button. And then also, if you don't see that, I linked earlier in the video, but I also put it on the end card, a instructional on how to get to it. Usually if it's an Apple product, sometimes you don't see that on there. So anyway, thank you for watching. Hit subscribe. If you're not going to join the channel, that is completely fine. Subscribe anyway. We do all sorts of homesteading stuff here, one of which is cooking. Now this is special because it's birthday, so we're going to do cake. I don't think anything is from here for the cake. Maybe the eggs if my girls start laying. And then, yeah, so we do all sorts of homesteading stuff. I do cooking, preserving, freeze drying, canning, dehydrating, all those things, animals, and gardening, food forest, foraging, all that stuff. So if you're not going to join the channel, that is completely fine, but join us, and join us we do a live chat every Monday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And it's a lot of fun, and I mean, there's really good people on there, really good friendly people in the chat. So I encourage you to join those and subscribe and pass it along. Thank you for watching. I hope you join us, and if not, have a wonderful, wonderful time baking on your own. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.